Hi everyone, Canoopsy here, and this is the new BlackBerry KEY2, an upgrade from the excellent BlackBerry KEY1. But in 2018, this comes across as a very different overall phone. There's nothing remotely even similar to this device on the market right now. So let's talk about what this phone is, and what this phone isn't. First of all, it's well designed. BlackBerry devices have always been solid, well built, and classy, and especially in this new silver color, this device looks incredible. The metal edges feel great, and despite the sharp appearance, this phone is very comfortable to hold with rounded corners and a surprisingly good weight. Couple that with the new textured back, and this phone feels refreshingly grippy compared to a sea of slippery glass and aluminum-backed devices. There's also great touches like the differentiated textured power button, and all the buttons are super clicky. There's still a headphone jack, decent bottom firing speaker, and I've had no problem with the ear speaker for calls, but the edge of the phone can be a bit sharp against your ear during calls. Second, let's talk about the keys. All 36 of them, including the side convenience key that can be programmed to any function on the device, including displaying specific things depending on whereabouts you are. Like if you're at home, in your car, in your office, it's all customizable. The keyboard is like the previous BlackBerry KEY1, but with larger matte finish keys, and from my testing, they're a bit better than the KEY1, but not really by too much. The tactile response is also excellent, they're backlit, and for a well-seasoned BlackBerry typist, you're gonna love this new keyboard. And for a touchscreen typer like myself mostly, you're gonna get used to it and eventually just fall in love with it. But it's not just the typing part, it's a few other key things that take the experience to the max for productivity. First, being gestures. You can use the keyboard as a trackpad to scroll, and when typing, if you swipe up, there's predictive text, but it's a bit faster to actually use. The capacitive keys can sometimes accidentally be triggered when swiping up. You have to just be a bit more mindful when swiping on the trackpad. There's also the Fingerprint Scanner built into the spacebar, and it's very fast and reliable, but the main thing that's just so unique and different and very useful is all of the programmable hotkeys on this device. Each and every letter key on the keyboard can be programmed to a shortcut for an app, speed dial, message, or action. With the KEY1, this didn't work in applications, but here with the new speed key at the bottom of the right corner, you can press this in conjunction with one of the other keys to activate application switching within your current application. It's super quick and makes multitasking a breeze. You can even map the currency key to a function, and I have it set to notification dropdown just for that extra bit of convenience. It's things like this culminating into one single package that makes the KEY2 kind of the ultimate productivity and multitasking experience. But one design feature that sadly isn't present here though is water resistance. So don't bring this phone and its beautiful keyboard anywhere near water at all, or it's going to get totally wrecked. Only the BlackBerry Motion is water resistant. Third, the KEY2 is also secure. Besides all those kind of boring sounding but necessary security features, the main thing this year is security stuff you actually want to use. Like Privacy Shade for showing only a small portion of the screen when viewing confidential documents, or BlackBerry Locker that gives you a private browser and a place to hide any sensitive files. Also, taking a picture with the standard camera app using the Fingerprint Scanner as the shutter button sends the picture directly to the locker itself. And for people trying to access your files and pictures from the locker on Android file transfer, it just shows up blank, so it's super secure. But the main feature though is D-Tech. It actually gives you a rating on how secure your device actually is, and actually shows you how to make it more secure. And you can even check applications and their permissions individually, so you can see if that random app you just downloaded is just tracking everything about you, and you can turn all of those permissions off. Especially today when privacy and security is such an important thing, it's good to actually have complete control over these features. You also have all the other usual BlackBerry software additions. Swiping up on apps shows a widget view, BlackBerry Hub combines all notifications into one convenient go-to place, QuickTab is still available but it still has some lag, and the minimal software here with a few other tweaks is really excellent. BlackBerry didn't completely change the software, make it all ugly and kind of gross looking, but kept it very consistent, very minimal, and beautiful. And number 4 is battery life. The KEY1 and Motion were great for battery life, and this phone still carries that BlackBerry legacy. The 3500 mAh capacity battery takes me from 9 AM till around 11 o'clock at night with only a 50% drain. By the next morning, only a few percentage points lost, and by the late afternoon, like 3:30, 4 o'clock, I'm at about 15% battery or so when I usually plug it in to charge. Now, I've been really testing this phone aggressively for picture taking, calls, social media, and music listening, and for most people it should last about a day and a half on busier days or 2 days on lighter days. It's really great battery life on this phone. You probably won't have to charge your phone every single day of the week, but the KEY2 actually learns your battery usage over time and suggests the best time to actually charge your phone. And Quick Charge 3 is also available here, but there is unfortunately no wireless charging. So adding design plus keyboard plus security plus software features plus battery life equals getting shit done 24/7. That's what this phone is for first and foremost, but what about everything else? So back to the design, the phone isn't really for media consumption or true entertainment. Watching videos isn't too comfortable because of the aspect ratio of 3:2 on this display and the whole keyboard on the side of the device as well. The display does look good though. It's 1080p at 4.5 inches and it's LCD, and it's really not too bad at all, but not truly ideal for video watching. And running the show are specifications that are kind of a mix of mid-range and high-end, with the Snapdragon 660 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, and 64 or 128 gigabytes of storage, plus micro SD card support. If you're coming from a phone with a Snapdragon 835 or 845 processor, you will definitely notice a bit of a speed difference during daily use, mainly how quick things open, occasional lag, and high-end gaming, with some drops in frame rate. But back to my previous point, the form factor doesn't really make it too ideal for gaming either. Also, as I mentioned before, the software here does have some great features and is well polished and attractive, but you will notice some weird glitches, frame drops, occasional shutdowns, and rare camera freezing during picture taking. A lot of this can definitely be fixed through software updates over time, but generally though, it is quite reliable besides the small annoyances. The camera experience has also received quite a bit of an upgrade. The front 8-megapixel selfie camera is good for a quick, occasional selfie here and there, and now there's a dual 12-megapixel rear camera arrangement, with the secondary shooter being a telephoto camera. One of the complaints I have though with the camera experience is the camera application itself, and selecting any other camera mode like video for example requires going into a whole separate menu, which is kinda lame. Also, the video icon is what is commonly used for pictures, so it makes it a bit confusing. But besides all that, photos though are pretty solid in general. Outdoors or in bright light, there's vibrant colors, decent HDR at times, and sharpness. The telephoto camera also offers up some great utility, and it's not really as sharp or as good looking as the main camera pictures, but it's great to have this as an option for taking pictures. The secondary camera also enables portrait mode here too, which is pretty good, but not really as good as the Pixel 2 XL or the iPhone X. When the light gets low, however, expect much weaker results across the board. Focusing and taking pictures in low light takes an awfully long time, plus with no optical image stabilization, you end up with blurry results almost all the time if you move even a little bit. Video recording in 4K has no stabilization at all, but 1080p video has electronic stabilization, but it's nothing really too major. It also just doesn't look that great either. It's kind of blurry, it lacks detail, the colors are kind of off, while 4K video looks infinitely better, except for the lack of stabilization. It looks super shaky. So to summarize, you can see what this phone is and what this phone isn't. First and foremost is of course productivity, and secondary is everything else. It's a really good and different phone, but you should know exactly what you're buying this device for specifically, especially at a high price of $650 US unlocked or $829 Canadian unlocked. Two price points that are up there with many other flagship devices on the market right now. If productivity, security, battery life, and the stellar physical keyboard are the most important features for you, it's hard to find all of those things in one device, and this is an incredible choice for all of those things. But if entertainment, best performance, complete fluidity, and greater camera quality are more important to you, this isn't the best choice, and there are plenty of other options on the market. Let me know your thoughts on the BlackBerry KEY2 in the comments down below, and thank you for watching.